What's up? What up? What's good? What up with it? What it do? Que paso? Que ondas? Que tal? Wagwan? However you say it from wherever you're from, thank you again for being with us. I am one half of the co-hosting team here, Steve. And this beautiful lady over here is, who is this?
I'm Liz.
That is my lovely wife. And this is Marriage for Grown Folks. A cool place to do a lot of blah, 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 blah. If you've seen our other episodes, you know how we get down, all right? You know how we get down. We're here to talk about some things that are pretty cool. Once again, we are not a reactive podcast. We try our best to have a topic so we can, get some good banter, some good back and forth, talk about some cool things that might be in vogue, might be out of vogue, maybe something that's in your mind or on your mind, or something you talked about with someone and never really had a chance to flush it. But from the perspective of two married people who are straddling the line of 19 beautiful years.
Yep.
Shout out to you, bro. 19 years ain't easy to do.
Nope.
Nope. Follow what she say? Long. All right, Gina. Long. I went to therapy for this.
19 years.
19 years. So congratulations early. Pre-congratulations.
Same to you, babe.
Yeah, I appreciate you. You look good.
Thank you.
I bet you smell good.
I do. I
What
got
is
some
that?
light blue on.
Light blue.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Who
Mhm.
bought that for you?
You did.
I did?
Yeah.
I was really joking on that one. I didn't think I bought that one.
Yeah.
The
you
light
bought
blue?
it.
I bought that?
Yes, you bought it.
All right. Well, cool beans.
Yeah. It's a classic. So it's Dolce & Gabbana.
Okay.
Light blue. It's been around forever and ever and ever. And I love it.
Okay.
I've been wearing it for 20 something years now.
Got it.
Yeah.
Like when we were younger, all the dudes was wearing Nautica. Like, that was the smell.
It used
From
to smell
ages-
so good.
From ages 14 to like 21, you had to have
Mhm.
some Nautica on. Remember the blue
Mhm.
bottle with the silver top?
I bought it for you.
Everybody
when we were
bought it for me.
16.
Christmas gifts from your parents. Like, it was Nautica. You had to have it. What's wrong with you? Fix your face.
Everybody bought it for you?
Why are you always assuming it's another woman?
Who
That's
else
your-
is everybody? If I bought it, then that's all that mattered. You did not need to mention anybody else.
I'm not fighting you today.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Okay. Temp check. What you got?
Okay,
It's your stink attitude. Let's get to it.
let's. Have you ever won a contest?
Absolutely.
Describe it. Which?
I won a spelling bee before. Actually, I won 2 spelling bees actually.
Mm.
Yeah, at the convocation, Holy Convocation in New Haven. Yeah, Kojic. Yep, we had spelling test. No, I'm wrong. I won it one year and finished 3rd the second,
Oh,
but I won that, and it wasn't a big deal to me because I like words, so I did win that. I also won, basketball. 3-point contests,
Well,
things of
talk
that
about it.
magnitude. At the Connecticut Basketball School years ago, 1995, I went to a camp called Connecticut Basketball School where I got the MVP that week. I was really proud of that. But we had a free throw shooting contest. I won that. And then we had I can't dunk. I'm 5'10", you know what I mean? But we had like this little impromptu, funky little dunk contest that we had on like a lower rim.
mm-hmm.
I got busy.
Did you?
I got busy, and I won. Remember, I won the Feli. I think Jerry Stackhouse had a pair of Felis, or the Grant Hills, the Felis that everybody had on. That was dope at the time. I think Meth had them on in the. You're all
In that video?
Yep, I won those in that little dunk contest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How about you?
So I won a reading contest, which is totally on
How
par
yeah,
for me.
How you win a reading contest?
So at our elementary school, because I was a nerd, okay?
Freaking dweeb.
I've always loved reading,
Right.
and it was 3rd grade. Our principal wanted us to read, and
Okay.
so every time we read a book, we had to like log it. The reading logs, right?
Mhm.
The infamous logs that everyone lies on.
Mm,
But I actually did not lie. And so I read a bunch of books, kept filling out the log. And then at lunch, he would get up and he would like announce like the winners, the people that had read the most pages and read the most books. And I ended up winning for my class. And the prize was that we could cut his tie.
You told me about this.
I did.
You told me.
I did.
Yeah,
This is
I think you're still an offie for this, but that's cool. That's cool.
Have you ever won a contest? Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And you got a chance to cut it?
I did.
Cut the tie?
And I had the tie forever. It's
really?
It's probably still in like the archives in my parents' house.
Very cool. No, that's actually very cool.
Yeah.
Very nerdy, but very cool.
I mean,
what kind of tie was it?
So he wore a bad tie. So he wore like a tie. It had like Mickey Mouses on them.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I cut.
Hey,
so you got to go up there, you cut the tie, and then you get to keep it. But Mr. Sermola, that was his name.
Yeah.
Mr. Sermola was a very strict, loud. He used to yell at us.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see him be light and playful this way. And so, yeah, the idea of like cutting his tie was like you one up the principal.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. One
Very
of my
cool.
proudest accomplishments in life. Pretty pathetic.
I
but
dig it. I dig it. That's cool. That's cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not win the one contest that I wanted to win, though.
Which one was that?
It was the oratorical contest. It was a citywide contest that we did in like 5th grade or 6th grade. Probably 5th grade at Waverly.
Mm-hmm.
Frank T. Simpson Waverly School in Hartford, Connecticut. Mr. Thompson was our principal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But we had an oratorical contest. And remember I told you I had a very bad speech impediment. AKA I stuttered from like 5th, 6th, 7th grade, whatever. It was pretty bad.
Okay.
But I still entered because I didn't mind talking in front of people. And we had to pick it doesn't matter what we had to pick. But I made it to like almost to the finals, which was not bad. So I made it to the finals in the school. And then our finalists ended up representing the city, which was pretty cool. That's all right, but I was almost there. I really wanted to win that sucker.
So you were committed to that.
Committed. Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Let's move on. What are you listening to right now?
Right now, Carl Thomas. I'm sorry, not Carl Thomas. I'm listening to Anthony Hamilton right now.
Yes, you are.
I've been digging into the crates with Anthony Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, man. I knew this before, but we talk about classic projects. But his initial project is a classic. He's got a ton of things on there.
Coming from where I'm from.
Coming from where I'm from.
That's the
Anthony
title,
Hamilton.
right?
That's his first one.
Mm-hmm.
That's without a doubt a classic to me. And we had a couple of classics around that same time that we always talk about.
Okay.
But that's definitely one of them, without a doubt. So, yeah, I've been digging into the crates, and then I went to his second one too. Anthony Hamilton has a lot of soul. And when I say soul, people say it's so generic, just like they talk about culture. Now nobody knows what the culture is.
Mm-hmm.
But Anthony Hamilton has that soul. I think about Fabulous when he said, "Not no Bieber on that hook. I need Anthony Hamilton." I understand why he said that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a soulfulness that you have to have. And he fits that mold almost. He like a category of his own almost. You know what I mean? Kind of raspy, kind of coarse voice, but great range, great songwriting, and he writes like about down home things.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Sister Big Bones. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Relatable.
But, relatable topics and content. He's a great voice and he sings hard. And I think there's like an Anthony Hamilton, not challenge going around, but I guess there's men that be talking about how they get when Anthony Hamilton's on, when they're in the car, and how we act. And I'm like, they are correct. Because when Anthony come on. I'm a mess right now. Can't sleep, can't eat. My head go back. And I'll be singing that thing.
That's why that window was closed?
No, that window was closed because the AC was on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's that. But that's what I'm listening to right now.
Okay.
How about yourself, man?
So I listened to Larizi.
Oh, you did? You gave it a shot?
I gave it a shot.
How about that? It was better than that Wayne, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's easy. So I like his voice.
Yeah.
He kind of gives me like an Outcast vibe.
Which one? Big
Andre.
Boy. Oh, 3 Stacks.
Yeah. 3,000. I did like the production.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get through it quickly. Like I got through the project and then it looped and played again.
Okay.
So I got to listen to it a couple times and was like, and didn't realize that I had listened to it a couple of times. Yes. And that doesn't usually happen for me. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. There was some substance there, which I appreciate. He does sound young, but he's got some pretty like I don't want to say boppy kind of stuff. It's not really that, but you can kind of move to it. You know, it's digestible.
Got it.
Yes.
In a world of food that's just indigestible.
That I typically just don't have the patience for. Like, I don't like sifting through new things. And I'm learning that of myself.
I learned that about you.
When?
Have I not been getting the SWV joke off every week for the past 6 months? You do not support new music unless it gotta slap you and say, "Come here, listen to me." Other than that, you're like, nope, you're the one. So you're learning something about yourself, or you're accepting something.
I'm accepting. I know. I already know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even being able to listen to it through and then listen through it again, it was like, okay. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be so inclined to be like, okay, yes, Larizi, let's do this again.
I don't think I'm a fan, but when I listened to it, I was like, I wish my daughter would listen to this. I wish this was what she was listening to. You know what I mean? He young, but I'm like, I wish she was. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
You know what? This is kind of not related, but it's about Larizi. But when I looked at Apple Music, it showed that he has like the E, because whatever the music is, supposedly it has like explicit language and whatnot. I didn't hear any cursing.
I think it's X amount of curses equals the E. That's what I think. It's just like when you have like mature and PG, it has to have a certain amount of, or the content has to have blah, 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 and then you get the rating. But they got to give it a rating. But if you hear a curse word in there, it may not be heavy and heavy-handed, but it's probably in there.
I didn't hear it any. That's why I was, and I'm saying that because I even went in and like, did I put in clean? Because did I automatically go clean?
Right.
But I didn't hear any of the pauses or the things that happen when you get the clean edit.
Right.
So anyway, I thought that was interesting. I was just like, is Apple doing some funny stuff?
Well, what it shows you is that maybe there's still some MCs that can still spit bars without having to go heavy-handed with the cursing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rakim didn't cuss. That's something nobody talks about. That wasn't what he did.
Right.
So those in those spaces are words. You know what I mean? You're not saying that curse words don't do what they're supposed to do as well. You know what I mean?
Research shows folks that curse
are generally more honest
and intelligent.
It is what it is.
Just saying.
That's what the numbers say.
Yeah.
Right. But I think there's a time and place for everything. That's what I'll teach my kids. There's a time and place for everything. You should have an expansive vocabulary. You should read. You should use words that actually mean things, and people should be able to articulate. You should be able to articulate yourself so people understand what you're saying.
Right.
But, you are a grown person, whatever. If you're going to use those words, make sure that you're using those words in the space that they should be used in. You know what I mean? You shouldn't just be cursing for the sake of cursing. You know what I mean? What if our children end up becoming actors? You going to tell the director or whoever wrote the script, I ain't cussing. All right. We'll get somebody else.
You want to tell the story about Shai getting that role and then...
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. I really don't.
Jeez, you ain't have to snub me like that.
I ain't mean no harm. I love you.
It was so... I'm going to say it then. So, it was so sweet to see the innocence in her at the time. I think she was like 9, right? And they wanted her to say a curse word and she just would.
Right.
She just wouldn't.
That's not her thing.
No.
Yeah, that's not her thing. Yeah, she had a shot at it, and that wasn't her thing. She worked her way around it, and I appreciated that. She worked her way around it. Like, nah, I'm not going to do that. And they liked her. They just never got the funding for the movie, which sucked. But they liked her. You know what I mean? She was a hit in that room. But she worked her way around it. That's cool.
It is.
That's super duper cool.
So what are you reading?
What am I reading? I bought it. I just got finished with The Warrior of the Light. Warrior of the Light. I finally finished it. And I wanted to make sure that I wanted to surmise with one page of what it really is. I told you it kind of reads like a Proverbs or one of those books that kind of gives you some good wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
It's an easy read, but like I said, chock full of information and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, yeah, real quick.
You doing book readings now?
We doing book readings?
Apparently.
Look, you never know.
Okay.
The warrior of the light has learned that God uses solitude to teach us how to live with other people. Sorry. He uses rage to show us the infinite value of peace. He uses boredom to underline the importance of adventure and spontaneity. God uses silence to teach us to use words responsibly. He uses tiredness so that we can understand the value of waking up. He uses illness to underline the blessing of good health. God uses fire to teach us about water. He uses earth to explain the value of air. He uses death to show us the importance of life. And although this is only one page in the book, it was clearly a defining moment where I said, I'm going to stick with this book. Sometimes I'll see my way out. You know what I mean? But this one, I was like, this is good, especially with us, in the middle of our grief. But it shows you that God is perfection, that nothing is wasted. You know what I mean? They said with pigs, from the rootin' to the tootin', right? He uses everything. He uses grief. He uses health. He uses death. He uses water. He uses fire. He uses everything. So you have a greater overall perception of life. You know what I mean? It's just I like that. I like that idea. But I think that page was, that surmise where the book was going. I really, really dig that. It keeps things in perspective. That was the word that I couldn't find out of the air. Perspective. So I dig that. Yeah. Read Warrior of the Light. Really good book. You know what I mean? Really good book. Like I said, not a hard read, but you don't want to just rush through it.
So are the pages, do they read like that last page?
Yes.
All of it?
All of it.
Oh, that is hard.
Yeah, that's tough because it's like, oh, this is so good. Oh, this is so good. Oh, that's so good.
I need to sit with that.
Good. Oh, let me see this.
For a minute. Mm-hmm.
So as you see, I got a bunch of earmarked. I'm giving this to somebody. My boy said he wants it, so I'm going to get this to my boy, but it's all earmarked. But so many good things in there, man. Chock full of delightful tidbits of great information. Yeah. How about you, man? What are you reading?
So I'm still reading Matriarch.
Okay.
And I started this book yesterday. It's called The Let Them Theory. It is
talked about this.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Not you and I.
Yeah. You said it on the pod. Yeah, you did.
No. What would your answer be? What would
you talked about a book
what
that
if you were the answer?
You talked about a book that you were going to read that was
Matriarch.
Talking about, it's basically like when people like let them, when people want to do something, let them, and then it will be whatever. And somebody talks about this as well. One of your favorites. I think she's a psychologist.
Mel Robbins.
Yep. Yeah. You told me about this already.
I didn't tell you. We didn't talk about it on the podcast.
I thought you did mention it here, but go ahead.
You just threw me off.
Sorry.
Okay.
Break it down.
All right. So yes, I am reading Let Them Theory, Mel Robbins' newest book, green cover. And yes, the premise is just that, right? Like taking control out of the situation or giving yourself back the control. One of the things that I think that I'm most burdened with in life right now is the parts of it that I can't control. There's so much unknown and so much transition, be it like next steps, be it our like relationships with our children, relationships with family, dealing with death, like all of these different things, right? And it's just like, okay, this is overwhelming. There's a whole lot happening in a space, and I'm having a really hard time deciphering like what's important and what's not. And so this book has actually been really helpful. She gives this really great anecdote about her. She is a mother. So Mel Robbins is the author, and Mel Robbins is the one. It's an audiobook, so she's the one reading the book. She tells a story about the prom, and as not her husband, her son is getting prepared to go to the prom. And like a lot of boys, he waits till the last minute to get himself together and deciding that he's going to go. That he's going to go to the prom. She said it was like maybe a week before, and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to the prom. And so she's like, you didn't plan it. Who you going with? What's happening?
Who paying for this?
Well, yes, but I mean, I guess they're loaded. It is what it is. So anyway, so they go through all that, and he handles all of the things. And she thinks, oh, what a nice idea. He probably doesn't have a whole lot of time. Let me go and get the boutonniere. Excuse me, not the boutonniere, the corsage for his date. And so at the day of the prom, he's dressed, he's ready, and she's like, oh, by the way, I got this for your date. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, Mom. She doesn't want it. She doesn't want a corsage. And so she's like, well, but what if she does want one? Yeah. Like, and what if she gives you a boutonniere? And, she's kind of thinking through all that. Yeah. And he's like, she doesn't want one. Leave it alone. So then his sibling jumps in, her daughter.
And presses it again.
No, doesn't press it. Instead says, like, Mom, like, chill.
Let it go.
And so as a mom, she's just like, I'll just put it in my bag. Yeah. If she wants it, great. If she doesn't, that's fine. They get there, the couple's there. They look beautiful. She pulls out the boutonniere. The date pulls out the boutonniere, puts it on her son. Mm-hmm. And she immediately is like, oh, let me get her the corsage. Yeah. Not realizing that the girl had already made her own corsage on the other hand. Yeah. So the girl's like, right. I guess I need to wear this. And so she reluctantly puts her hand out. She puts it on and she says, I felt like poop. Yeah. I can't believe that I infringed that. Fine, whatever. And so then her son looks at her like, I already told you what it was. Right. Like, why did you meddle? Why did you, all that. So anyway, they go through the story and she gives a little bit more and she's just like, as mothers, you want to be able to fill in the gaps and you want to help to facilitate and to guide and to do all these different things. And sometimes your kids are telling you I got this, mm-hmm. and you need to trust that. And she was like, and in that moment, I felt horrible because I didn't listen to him. Yeah. Didn't listen to my daughter. Yeah. I didn't, and
she learned something.
She learned in that moment to start to let those things go. And then she was like, in the moment that I put it in place, I started to watch my relationships change with my children in particular. And you live it day in and day out, right? We have a teenager and sometimes mm-hmm. it's a whole lot of great intention. Yep. And a lot of friction. Right. And so I'm being reminded that I have to pull back. And so hopefully this book and a couple others that I'm reading.
Yeah, hopefully it'll help. At the end of the day, man, I really believe wholeheartedly, we're parents, so we want our kids to be and have and want them to succeed and all of the good things. But I'm learning, with our 15-year-old and our 7-year-old, it's you have to let them. You have to allow them. And if you haven't noticed, even with the boy, I've been like, you let him.
Yes.
Let him.
Yes.
We don't want to. My greatest, I think not greatest, a big revelation for me happened a couple of months ago when I heard someone say it. I know it when I heard someone talk about what you rob your children of when you step in too much, what you rob them of, what you strip them of, and how it cripples them, for the big world, mm-hmm. And next thing you know, they back in your house, and you talking trash about them being on the couch and being in the basement. Mom, meatloaf. But at the end of the day, some of this stuff is self-inflicted, AKA it's the parents who are doing their kids a disservice by stepping in too much, not allowing them to bump their heads or whatever. And you and I know this because our son is built a certain way and our daughter is built a certain way. And we know that one of them is an experiential learner. And unfortunately, that may yield some things that we don't like, but we have to let them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our person who steps in and takes care of the kids for us in our absence at times said to me yesterday, she said, well, you've really raised her to be soft. And I said, I did. And she said, from what I see, my experience. And she didn't even mean it like an insult. She didn't even mean it. She's like, she's soft. And she said something, it was more modern. It was more soft girl or that, esque or whatever it was that she had said. And I was just like, you're right. And I just received it because you don't think that. And a lot of times, we do stuff and we just assume that we're creating a clearer path for them to be, ambitious and persevere and all of those other things. And then you realize like, oh, shoot, I just made this way easier for you. And you don't really even know how to appreciate any of that.
Yeah.
You need that grind. You need some of the struggle.
Amen.
So
It's a thing.
Let
it's
them.
a thing. We could have a whole different conversation on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the idea. I'm telling you, I've had multiple conversations. I've shared this with you. I've had multiple conversations with other parents.
Adults.
You know what I mean? And I guess the generations are changing a little bit. There are other generations on top that have been before us, prior to us, who have had some success financially and have left out of the hood and given their kids some things that have some culture to it, maybe. Outside of what we're accustomed to, maybe some universities, maybe some better schooling opportunities, maybe some, things that might help them push forward, right? That we didn't have access to, some of us.
Right.
And, at the end of the day, it makes you wonder, like, hey, as in this moment, like, hey, I said it one day. Are our kids better off struggling? Like, does the struggle create a stronger, more sound, person overall? And it's almost like an overwhelming yes that I'm receiving. It's like, yes. But it's like, who wants to go through all of the struggle and the pain when you can you can provide a way that's a little easier? So to me, I don't think I have it all figured out, but I do think the best way to do is just probably hit it in the middle. Provide more than what we had, right? And create situations and create an environment where they can learn. And, sometimes you'll overdo it. And sometimes you're like, no, go figure it out. You got to fall on your face. Nope, you got it wrong. And I'm not coming to save you, And I think, you give them some leash, you let them figure it out, let them fail, let them have their success, reward them and celebrate them when they have successes, and you support them when they fall. Because hopefully they learn something. Because Lord knows we did a lot of learning. We did.
We did.
All right, and I think our parents did a great job. I think we're tough kids. I think we're solid kids. I think we're problem solvers. I think we're critical thinkers. You know what I mean? I think we're solid. No right, no wrong, right? Just do the best you can.
Exactly.
All right, let's jump into it. This should be fairly easy. Because we're just going to review the last 19 years. Because we are running full speed towards our anniversary. Hey, running full speed to our anniversary. Hey.
Yes. Our anniversary's in a week. And so we thought it'd be a good idea to sit back and reflect on some of our big lessons that we've learned in 19 years. So we're not going to talk about all 19 years. we won't do that to you. But what we will do is we'll either talk about a tidbit or a big moment that we consider to be like pivotal in shaping us, or just something that we've been able to take away from the 19 years that we've been together.
Okay. Yeah. Let's have some fun with it.
Let us.
All right. Good narration and good, I like that. You chose this one. I thought it was really cool. It's lighter, but I think, but it's deep enough, but light enough. Deep enough, but light enough. 19 years is a long time to us, but there are other couples that we've known that have been together for quite some time, you know what I mean? And back in the day, even though they was only together because no matter what you say, this is a drop in the bucket to some other, OG couples. But I think there's a lot that's been learned. I think we've grown. I think we've definitely made intentional efforts to become something different than what we were when we first walked in. Would you say so as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. I'd also say we're going into our 19th year, and if we thought about it in terms of like a child that is growing into their 19th stage, you think you know a whole lot,
but you don't know nothing.
I don't know if we don't know nothing, but I think that there is still a lot of room for growth. And,
absolutely.
And so that's the perspective that I'm going to take it from.
Okay.
I do feel like we've got some wisdom, and we are definitely receptive to new pieces. So
I'm sitting here looking at your list. Your list is pretty solid. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here looking at it. You know, you can, but I think a lot of our things are overlapping. We just said it different.
Yes.
We just said it different, which lets me know that we are definitely in the same place.
Absolutely. So, okay. So that list, again, just to clarify, that list that wasn't
the three things. I got it. There's some things that just like overviews of
you
it.
got it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. So you wanted to put out there what we've learned, and you wanted to have a couple things listed to help prompt some of these things, but also following it up with three major moments where we recognize what was happening. Like, oh, this is different, or defining moments for the relationship. And when I read these, I naturally thought, man, these are really, really, really good. But I got to be honest, the big three to me only dawn in comparison to some of the good stuff that we can get into with the list that you prepared. That's what I believe.
Okay.
That's what I believe. You want to list them off?
So these were overall like ideas that if you took a poll, these are what people say.
Okay.
Like what I wish I had known before I had gotten married. So that's what that list was. So the first one is that love changes over time. A lot of times, like, passion just fades. Real love doesn't look like it did, first year one or year two. And so then the next one was communication is everything, right? Everyone says that communication is so important, but it's really about like how you're communicating.
Okay.
And then number 3 was conflict is both normal and healthy in moderation, just like fried chicken, like just keeping that in mind. And then number 4, you can fix or change your partner. Again, this is like a myth. This is not a truth. Okay. And so having the idea, you can't fix or change your partner. And apparently people, they get married off potential. They get married off of the idea of like, I see where you can be, and then expect that there's going to be. Yeah. And then they think that there might be some sort of shift or something like that. And so that's what that list was based off of. So number 5 was that intimacy is much more than sex. And so people didn't realize that, apparently, when they got married, didn't realize that that intimacy wasn't just that. Number 6, marriage is a team effort. And number 7 being that money matters. It's important. So that was just a list that I got together from looking at different things that people said that they would have, that they wish they had known before they got married.
So, I mean, it's all there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know who polled it and who got the data. Data's delicious, but I get it. I can see how I'm gonna just jump around a little bit.
Yeah.
Love, passion for people change over time. I get it. Right? Communication is everything. Duh. I mean, if you didn't know that before, you definitely know it. You'll learn it at some point. Intimacy is more than sex. I bet there's a lot of young people or a lot of small-minded individuals that believe wholeheartedly that sex is the reason, that is top priority
for intimacy,
right?
Or that's how you create intimacy. It's one way.
I mean, but the world is responsible for this for this myth. Marriage is a team sport. We may not have thought it like this, but we are definitely learning that we together everyone achieves more. The team, TEAM, together everyone achieves more. Together, you know what I mean, everyone achieves more. And I would make that addendum, that edit, together everyone achieves more in our situation, because we are the heads of our family in that respect. And money matters. Yes, it does. Absolutely. It does. It ain't everything, but it matters.
It matters.
And I think a lot of times people have conversations that conflate. You know what I mean? Money matters is different than someone saying money is everything.
Right.
But if you put it in the same bucket and you go back and forth and you hollering and yelling, it could like, wait, what? How did we get here? I dig it.
Yeah. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with the list. I just think I'm zooming in for my big three.
Oh, you're gonna zoom in?
I'm gonna zoom in. So I think that it may touch on some of those 7.
Yeah.
And it may not, but I think that there is definitely some overlap. I haven't looked at your list yet.
Okay.
So
Right.
So we'll see.
I don't really have a big 3, so to speak. So that list is great. I guess I was just willing to talk about the things that I've learned.
Yeah.
From a macro, maybe even a micro level, but I put 5 together.
Oh, cool.
Because 10 I thought was too much.
Okay.
And Lord knows this microphone is probably picking up the growling happening in my stomach.
Oh.
Because boy, am I hungry.
You're hungry.
I am hungry.
I got it.
Okay.
So why don't you start with the first one in your list? Because I'm sure that there's going to be overlap in what we're talking about.
Sure. And I could even truncate it if that means, I could actually pick 3 out of these that might be more important than.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I'll start with the most important one.
Okay.
Your spouse is the most important person in the world. I'll say that again. Your spouse is the most important person in the world. Leave to cleave, all that stuff is true. I didn't quite understand it. I didn't disagree or fight against it, but I know it to be true now. I will refer back to a story that I told maybe last week or the week before. I'm getting old. Forgive me.
Yep.
But my auntie, my Aunt Debbie, years ago when she met my daughter, told me that this little girl is gorgeous and charismatic and all of the things. And she's got you just like this. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in her eyes. You guys got a great relationship. But she turned my head and she said, "You see that woman over there?" I said, "My wife." She said, "That is the most important person in the world. Don't forget it." I blew it off. I heard it, but I blew it off. Now in this moment, I said, she's 100% correct. My wife is the most important person in the world. That relationship is the most important in the world. And as we feed each other, it gets better and everything gets better. And when times get tough, we've got each other. And had we not done that work, we wouldn't be here. And if we allow someone or something to take precedent or have more value than the other, it will be off balance, imbalance, imperfect, and you don't have a shot.
Right.
I get it.
Yes. So that's good because my that was on my list as well. I have "You Are My Best Friend."
Yeah.
But I have that actually as an aside because I believe some of that, what you're talking about, is like cultivating our relationship. And so what I put was that trips away are my absolute favorite.
We trip away. We away trip. Great, because we don't do a lot of vacations. But we go away, and it's a really good time. For real.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I've noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no arguing, maybe a little bicker here and there about where we about to eat or da-da-da.
Because you never want to try anything new.
No, absolutely not. I stick to what I like. My stomach will tell me that I don't like something. I'm a finicky eater. Sorry. But no, real talk. We do a great job when we go away.
Mm-hmm.
It's always pleasant. It's always fun. We always laugh. We always have a good time. For real.
And we learned that once we had the means to do more, right? And then we even learned to be creative in those moments when we didn't have so much money. And we're like, okay, we still need to set aside some time. And if that time needs to be like it's in our house, but everyone's asleep, then that is what it is, right? And so sometimes that time is at the end of the day, but so trips away are great, but really it's about that isolated time that we make, that we intentionally set aside for one another. And that's why it makes, for me, whenever we get ready to like go away, I get excited about I'm just trying to, I need to dot all the I's and cross the T's.
Let me tell you how this woman was packed like 4 days before we left. I'm like, yo, where you going? Are you going on a pre-vacation? A pre-getaway?
No.
She had her stuff sitting at the door.
Yes,
like
I did.
3 days before we even got on the road. I said, oh, she is ready.
I was so ready to go.
I had to put a sock. I hadn't put a pair of drawers. I hadn't even selected a bag that
I'm gonna start packing you too.
No,
like
I'm
just gonna pack. No, not your. But I'll just get your underwear together, your socks.
That was funny though. You was ready.
I was so ready to go.
Looking at my phone, like maybe I got the dates mixed up.
Nope. It was Monday and Friday.
Yeah,
that luggage was packed and ready to go.
Absolutely.
So yes, I think trips away are just incredibly important. I would love for us to do other stuff, and so that's my goal.
Take you on vacation every weekend.
No, then it gets tiring. But
I get what Nip meant, though.
Yeah,
I get what he meant.
Yes, you need to like extract yourself from the day to day to experience something else, and that's really easy because we've established, right? Like we like each other. What did you say? Your wife or your partner needs to be the most important person.
Absolutely.
And so I agree with that, but that doesn't happen by claiming it. It happens because you cultivate it. And so that's why I'm like, it's easy for me to say, this is my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just because we were dating since we was 14 years
old.
All
facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which definitely leads to my next one.
Go for it.
Because you walked right into that sucker. Marriage only works if you make it work. You know what I mean? You said that on the end of your past soliloquy.
Why it gotta be a soliloquy? When you talk, I let you talk.
Why did soliloquy just get put on like the?
Look it up and look at what soliloquy means.
It does not have a negative connotation. It's just a word.
Okay.
Sheesh. Poor soliloquy. She's like, oh my goodness, I didn't mean to do that to you. You talked about the idea of marriage only working if you make it work. Autopilot just ain't gonna get it. And this is how we learn that people have gaps in their relationships where they won't get separated or divorced. We've heard about couples that just go 10 flat out years without talking. We've heard this story before. I'm like, wait, you live in the same home? You share the same air, restrooms, buy groceries, eat some time together, smell each other. And you mean to tell me that people actually go 10 years and then just like that, a Christmas party happened. Something happens that makes them reminds them of the good times. And next thing you know, they talking again.
Well, amen.
That's crazy to me.
It's crazy, but I'm glad there's a rekindling.
Right.
If there's a rekindling.
Right. So marriage only works if you make it work. You have to be intentional and diligent in making it work. And when I say making it work, finding things that make you laugh and smile, recognizing that it's not so much separatism. Some of this stuff is meant to be done together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Not all of it.
No. We're going to talk about that too.
Well, I mean, we can, but we don't do everything together. That's wild, but that's
crucial too.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Okay, because I want to caveat off of what you've just said because can you name your thing again real quick? What was it? What was it again?
Marriage only works if you make it work.
I have ADHD.
Sorry. I know.
Okay. Marriage only works what? Say it one more time.
If you make
it work. Okay. So it was my number 4 on the list. And it's like marriage is not a 50-50 like stakeholder divide. And so, yes, marriage only works if you make it work. But oftentimes people go into marriage thinking like, I'm going to do my part and then he's going to do his part. And there's going to be this really nice like balance. And that's not the truth. That's not the truth. And so when you say it only works if you make it work, it's really, you make it work if you're not trying to keep score. If you're trying to keep score, then, that's like you're perpetuating some form of like self-centered, selfish like motivations. Like what it's a whole lot of ego happening and not enough like teamwork. And so I don't want to sound too preachy, but yes, sometimes one of us carries more of the weight.
Straight up and down.
And season to season.
Yep.
There might be some flip-flop and there might be some seasons where, okay, you're carrying this much and I'm handling this on the back end, but we understand like moving forward, that's where we're at. But that's that work, that intentionality.
I dig it, man. I dig it. I hear you. It's good stuff. That's good stuff. Here's something really, really simple. Don't marry someone you don't like.
Oh.
Yeah. I believe that's a thing. I didn't dig into stats, numbers, and data.
Okay.
But I bet you there's a great deal of people who are out there losing their relationships because they're in a, I believe this is supposed to be, I think this, I've got this idea, concept of what I believe that my spouse or partner is supposed to be. Next thing you know, y'all get past that simple stuff. And next thing you know, you're married. And your concept, idea, your template is not it. And you don't even like that person. But because your social media, because your friends, because your faith, because your mama, because your friends.
You said that.
It is what it is. Next thing you know, you're in a relationship, that you've taken vows and maybe even have some children with, and you don't even like this person.
Uh-oh.
Can you imagine that?
I can.
Well, I can imagine it too, but and I know that we as humans, separate of our relationship, don't do things that we don't like to do.
No.
We are rebellious in that. I am not going to do something I don't. Job, relationship, recreation, outing,
whatever the
food.
thing.
You can see the way me and my son, we don't eat what we don't like. It just is not going to happen. I don't waste my time where I don't want to waste my time. So imagine, there are people out there that are with people, once again, that they don't like. That can't work. So don't marry somebody you don't like.
So we learned in our marriage that you make sure you like the person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I strongly suggest not marrying somebody you don't like.
Yeah. I mean, if you intend to
spend
a lifetime.
I can go to like them. That sounds real.
I know who I'll marry.
Yo, you wrong for that, fam. You wrong for that. That's our personal thing. That's funny, but we've heard it.
We have.
We've heard it.
And that's wild to me.
Yep.
But it's very
unsuccessful.
Real. Well, and it's very real. It's not our truth, but that's
somebody's truth.
It is someone's. I'm sure that somebody may be listening thinking, "Oh shoot, did I do that? Is this me?"
That's why we have a podcast. Yeah. That's the whole point. We ain't here to judge you. We're here to talk about some things, as we talked about in the beginning, that might spark, encourage, flush.
We're poking the bear.
Poke the bear, right.
A little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's definitely a good one. I like that you said something about the independence within the marriage, because just as we are married and we are a team and we are all those things, we are still very much ourselves.
Absolutely.
And we've talked about this a number of times. So I think one of the things that I've specifically learned is to set my own goals and to establish my own identity doing the things that are important to me, because I don't want to ever feel any level of regret, towards you because I didn't do,
or resentment.
Yeah. Like regret in life because I didn't do something that felt really important to me off the sake of like, oh, I don't want to talk to him about that. Or I don't necessarily know how he's going to receive this new piece that I'm wanting to explore, right. And so I think it's really important to establish your own goals and to be your own self within a marriage.
It can work. Stedman is a bad boy. No one talks about his merit. He's a monster in his own right. He ain't Oprah, but he ain't trying to be Oprah.
She's already her.
Mm-hmm. So they do their own thing separately. They don't separate of each other, and they don't, his isn't documented as well as hers is. Mm-hmm. But from what I heard, Stedman is a bad boy in his own right.
I'm sure. Like, how could he have pulled her?
And then
you're gonna pull like-minded and
right. And then you might have a relationship where one person is doing, like Tabitha Brown, when she tells her story about her husband, like he does his thing. He's got his thing going on. But when she took off and she excelled, she was like, I'm going to invest in that. I'm going to invest in what he's doing. Like,
what she did was she retired him. She retired him. It was beautiful. So she retired her husband, and then, bless her heart, Wendy Williams had a whole lot to say because she was still talking and she wasn't under, the guardianship or whatever it is that she's under right now. So she had a lot to say about it. And Tabitha her response was very much like, bless her heart. She doesn't know the love that I've ever experienced from my husband.
Well, you do realize that was my first introduction to Tabitha Brown.
Yeah.
That response. And I remember telling you,
Who is she?
Who is she? But I didn't understand. I was like, this level of authenticity, this level of the ability to chop someone down using words and also loving on them. I had never seen that. I've only seen that in like maybe a few elders that I may have known of women who are that elegant, charismatic, articulate, that I can chop you down while respecting you, but putting you in your place so you know what it is. And that's when I was like, is she joking?
No.
Like, is she playing?
No.
And I found out that Tabitha was not playing.
No, that was her authentic response. And it's totally on par to who Tabitha is.
Yeah, she takes her space.
Oh yeah, she absolutely did. So anyway, just thinking about that. So Tabitha is now, she's huge, all of the things, and she is building her brand,
right,
one tick at a time, and she's like, go ahead on,
right,
Chance, and
do your thing.
Do your thing.
Yeah, do what you do. I believe that because I do wholeheartedly believe that this is evolving into something. And after
you talking about us?
Yes, I believe relinquishing what I was doing with my company and selling that and setting us up, to where we can move forward in some things, kind of more comfortably than a lot of other people normally would. I believe that this is something that we're doing together. I believe that this is a calling. I believe that this is something that will grow legs, and I'm not fighting any of that. Who's this? I'm speaking this thing. We ain't just we invested into this thing. We have. We found a studio. We were blessed with a good studio, and we invested in ourselves, and we wanted to have good lighting and good place to be, and good audio, good sound. So I know for a fact that when this gets to the right ears and we start putting together our deal with Sirius or Spotify or whoever we put our deal with, I believe that people are going to recognize how beautiful you are and how full your lips are, and we should give her a line. And she's an Afro-Latino. We should probably talk about that. She would be the person to go to. I believe that to be a thing. And if that spins off, yay, we both win. I'm cool with that.
I receive it.
We want to give her, we want to give her 10 million and only want to give you 3. She's the breadwinner now. Yay.
It's all going in the same pot.
We got the same bank account.
Okay.
What are you talking about? So there's that as well. So, can I give one more and I'll let it fly?
Yeah,
I'll let it ride.
I have 2.
I'll leave it at this. The person you marry year 1 won't be the same person same person by year 10. There's evolution. All right? Or should be evolution. And when people talk about this idea of being equally yoked, I think it's totally misunderstood, and totally people miss the true value of that equally yoked. Just because you select someone and it's on the same footing doesn't make you equally yoked. Just because you're on the same faith or religion doesn't make it equally yoked. I believe wholeheartedly it's meant to be everlasting. It's meant to go on forever, the equally yoked. Because I believe as humans, if one person is taking care of their body and their mind and their spirit, and the other person isn't, now you've officially become equally unequally yoked. And that could happen in the middle of a marriage, 20, 30 years. What do you do then? Because the truth is, are you unequally yoked? Yes, you are. So I believe wholeheartedly it's designed, that whole unequally yoked or equally yoked idea. It's meant to be a higher vibrational concept. Partaken by both parties. We're both elevating our minds, our bodies, our spirits. So you're not going to have the same person that you had when you were young and vibrant and ignorant. Not bad ignorant. We don't put ignorant on the stand for being a bad word. It's just a word.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
so you mean it in the most
literal way, like soliloquy. She's somewhere sitting in the corner like, I can't believe. But no, I believe that there's something to that. So once again, the person you marry year 1 probably won't be the person you marry in year 10. And actually, they probably shouldn't be.
That's exactly what
should happen. That's the point.
That's what should be happening.
Let's grow together. And if they don't, I think that's something that people don't talk about either. I bet there's, what do they say? How do you say it when you figure it out when you divorce? irreconcilable differences.
When you can't figure it out?
Yeah, no, when you figure it out and you're like, yo, I don't hate you, you don't hate me. This just don't work.
Oh.
Irreconcilable differences.
Yes.
And I bet you that would be something that you would say is a piece of that irreconcilable difference. Hey, I'm growing. Or she's growing and I'm not. Or they're growing in a different way. I'm just not. I'm not going there. So what do? You know, people evolve. People devolve. People aren't what they say they're going to be. And you know what I mean? And we are, anyway.
No, go ahead.
That's good.
I was enjoying listening to you.
It's really interesting because I bet you that's the thing that people really don't recognize. Like there's, you know, just imagine that for lack of, oh boy, just say there's a couple that gets together and they're really, really big, right? You know what I mean? They're, you know, as you say, big boned. I say fat, right? Just say it's a couple that they're both fat.
I haven't used that term in a long time. Okay.
Let's just say it's a couple that's a big couple. They get together, they love each other. I'm not making fun. They get together, they loving on each other, they have kids, and all of a sudden one person says, yo, me being this size is affecting not only my health and my ability to live longer and take care of my children and be around for my grandchildren, it's also affecting the way I feel about myself. And they take this journey. But on that journey to lose the weight, they start finding out more about themselves.
Oh.
They start finding out different things and finding new communities that vibrate different and have different energies and have different ways. But that other person may not be going there. Mm-hmm. They still love each other, but that person is not the same. That's unequally yoked. Right?
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. So
I mean, I think that's a great example because you're talking about like health and not skinny, and that's not the messaging.
That's
not
the
going.
messaging we're going at. That just came to me. It was on the front of my frontal lobe. It came out.
I just wanted to name that. I don't want anybody to feel confused about that, right?
Confused. Well, somebody gonna be pissed about anything.
That's fine.
Find something about
and that's fine too. But just we're talking healthy, not skinny. But I'll parallel that to a point in our marriage where I think we weren't understanding. Like you were a big thinker, big picture. I'm creating
macro.
something.
Yeah, macro.
This is where I'm at. This is what I'm trying to do. And I was just like, but I'm just trying to pay the bills. And we weren't seeing eye to eye. Mm-hmm. And there felt like there was
like gaping.
Yes.
Like a big distance.
A hole between where I was landing and where you were landing. And of course, that was because our focuses were just two different things, really dependent on the role and like the load that we were carrying at the time. And so I can see that. I don't think that we were necessarily unequally yoked. Right. I do think that we just couldn't see each other's trajectory at that point. So and so I can see that happening. Anyway, okay, good. Yeah. I like that one.
That's a good one.
So I just wanted to name one more, and it'll be kind of ironic that I'm the one naming it. Yeah. But I think it's really important to recognize that our bedroom is only ours. And that was something that I feel marriage taught me. We got married at whatever age, I forgot, 24 for me. 26
for me.
And I got pregnant at 28.
Okay. And she came in 09, which means we were 29 at the time. Yep.
Yes. And I remember.
I know you're going with this.
Okay. So I'm going to tell the story, but I'm going to tell it as like the intro to the Recollect so that we can kind of segue into that. Okay. That's cool.
Copy that.
Okay. So the Recollect is an anecdote that changed how you looked at your marriage.
Okay.
And so for me, this is when that came up for me. Like, our bedroom is ours. So what I had noticed was I had a couple cousins who were married or had children, but their children were like co-sleeping. I'm sorry, I'm judging co-sleeping because for me,
you are.
I am. No, I am.
Get to it.
I am because one of the things that I recognized was like I really like us in this space together.
Absolutely.
Us being you and I.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to become one of those mothers who were just so overwhelmingly like tied to my children that I lost the spark with my husband. And I recognized that early on.
Yeah, we kicked that girl out the house, out the bed early.
She never slept in the bed with us. She never. So that's what I'm talking about.
Didn't she do a couple of weeks in the bassinet next to us?
She was in the bassinet for 3 months.
But never in the bed.
In the front, and she was in a bassinet in front of the bed for us because I didn't want it on one side or the other. Because we had 2 doors, but
Yeah.
also because I wanted it to be a shared responsibility. To, like, who was waking up, and if it was on my side, then it was automatically my responsibility. So we had her at the foot of the bed in a bassinet, but we had established like our children will not sleep in the bed with us.
Say that thing again. We did that, and I remember telling this story to someone, and I could tell that they were struggling with this in their home. And I didn't realize until I finished my story. I'm like, oh, they never interjected. They never said nothing. They probably going through this. And I was like, nah, man, get them kids out your bed. That's your bed. That's you gonna eat your cornbread? You know, no. You eat your cornbread. You know what I mean? I get it. And you did a great job with it. I mean, we did a great job. And I didn't fight you on that. And you know, I was head over heels in love with that girl, and I would have had no issues with her sleeping in the bed with me. You know that. But it was the right thing to do. There was no beef. It was the right thing to do.
And she grew up, to be a good sleeper.
Hey, well, girls, from what I heard, girls tend to be better sleepers than boys.
Well, neither of them feel drawn to like lay in the bed and sleep. No. To sleep with us.
Right.
Like to sleep with us. No, not to sleep with us.
Because Lord knows when I leave.
Oh, well, he does sleep.
He violates. When I leave the state or I'm going for a couple of days.
He sleeps on my side.
He sleeps on your side.
He sleeps on my side of the bed. I sleep on yours, but that happened later. Yeah. That actually didn't happen as a baby.
Cool,
he didn't
man.
sleep. No. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying like we really did establish like our bedroom is ours.
From day one.
That's where the magic happens, okay? And so because
it's the only thing we got that we can say is ours at this point.
In this house, yeah. Well, we're not in the house right now, but exactly. So anyway, that was my anecdote.
That's a good anecdote, but interesting.
What would be yours? So the recollect is any anecdote that changed how you looked at our marriage. So it can be something funny, sad, meaningful, scary, just a moment in the marriage where it taught you one of these lessons.
Okay. Maybe it fits, maybe it doesn't. I just want to be honest.
Please.
You know what I mean? You cool?
Yeah. I don't know what you're about to say.
All right, so we first got married. I thought I was done playing basketball internationally, chasing my FIBA overseas dream. I thought I was done. And it came back up. It resurfaced. And that was my heart. It was my truth. But this go round, I was chasing it for the money. I'm like, hey, I'm still quick. I can still shoot that thing. I can still handle. I can still, I think I bring some value to the market. But let me finish this off and see if I can make some bread this time for my family, for my wife and my family. So that venture happened and I signed that contract. And remember, you guys were supposed to get visas and they denied y'all visas at the last minute. We had sold our things. You guys were coming. You guys were also coming to the country. But they denied the visa based on something was going on. I think there was like an unemployment rate or something that they did it. There's some stipulation that the border agency was like, nah, we can't do blah, blah, blah. So you were like, bro, you got to go, right? So you go do the thing. We'll figure it out. Boom, boom, boom. We're still early in our marriage. Baby girl is very, very young.
She's a year.
She's a year old. And I'm head over heels in love with this girl. You know what I mean? But I'm still fighting this. I ain't gonna call it a demon because it's not a demon. It created everything for us. But I made the decision to go. And I was gonna spend this 7-8 months in this country, one more time, in an effort to push forward to a better contract the year after, right? It was a real, legitimate, intentional push to get some bread playing the game. And I came home, the team that I played for, the club that I played for, God bless them. They cleared the schedule for almost 3.5 weeks during the holiday break, Christmas. So I was able to go home and have time, not just 3 or 4 days, but like I had a good almost a month. And in that time, you were like, I remember you said that night, you was like, I said, what's wrong? We're back in our rhythm. But I know that in a couple, our rhythm is going to be severed again and you're taking off. I can't do this, homeboy. Like I love you and I don't want to resent you. You know what I mean? And I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? You were crying, you were saying what you had to say, and you hit me. But it wasn't like we were fighting. It was a like wake up type deal. You put your hands on me, you know what I mean? But you hit me. We didn't fight, but you hit me. And I was like, I didn't know that she could ever do that. I know you was feisty, you know what I mean? But I didn't think you would ever do that. But right after it wasn't, I don't know, maybe it was like a left hook. You know what I mean? You put your hips into it, whatever. But either way, right after that, I replied, oh, I'm not going. I'll email them. It's over. It is what it is. This can't be us. So it is what it is. You turned around in the same breath, not even 30 seconds later, and you said, no, you got to go back. Because if you don't, you'll resent me and this won't work. With tears in your eyes, you said, you got to go back. But you go back and you get your butt right back.
Mm-hmm.
Bet. That's when I knew for certain we don't know what we're doing in this marriage, but what I do know is she's for me. Not saying it as in property, like she belongs to me. No. She's without a doubt, unequivocally for me. Because I could be dead wrong in this moment. I could be dead right. There could be a treasure at the bottom of this, at the other side of this rainbow. But all I know is she's affected by this, but she's still saying, you go do what you got to do and get through this. That's when I knew that marriage was for grown folks.
Yeah.
Straight up and down.
Yeah. That's a good example.
Yeah.
And you like shared it well, because I remember feeling so confused in that.
So confused.
I was so confused in that moment. Like, because, like your truth, when you talk in anger, you speak in anger. And some of that is impulsive. And some of that is like, these are my true feelings. But I need to just, for me in particular, I have to get this out so that I can release it, so that I can move forward. And that's how I've always been.
Right.
And so in that moment, I had to tell you the thing. But I also realized, like, even in me telling you that, you have to make the decision, but it needs to be on you. I don't want you to make a decision
based on me
and what I'm dealing with, And so I do remember that distinctly. And I remember, like, the moment I said, please, like, no, you have to go. It was like, what are you saying? Girl, struggling.
It was some weird energy, but it was an awkward space. It was a space that we had never been in before.
It was
not
new.
As a married couple. It was a very new space. Even the space was like, even the air in the room was like, what? Huh? What's happening here? Like, what is this? Huh? It was interesting to be a fly on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when I knew. Like I said, that's pretty cool stuff, man. Pretty cool stuff. We survived some stuff over 19 years. We could go on forever, but we survived some things. And live to tell the story. And boy, are we evolving. We don't think we better than nobody. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? There's been down times. You know what I mean? There's been up times. And there's been way more dips than peaks. Way more valleys than peaks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth it. I would do it again 1,000 times with you. And it's without a doubt. I know for a fact, if I didn't know anything before, marriage is designed, and I read this earlier, everything has a purpose. You know what I mean? And it's designed that way. It's truly designed that way. I won't read it again, but it's designed that way. The goods, the bads, the ups, the downs, fire, ice, all of that stuff is designed, to keep you with good, proper perspective. It could be this way, it could be that way. You know what I mean? This is LA. We watch Bentleys drive by homeless people. You've got two things happening, right? So
cognitive dissonance.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's a dissonance at play. Andre 3000. Yeah.
This was good.
This was real good. I'm so hungry, but this is really, really good.
Okay. Let's sign us off.
All right. Here we go. Once again, thank you guys. I was supposed to say this in the beginning. I didn't say it. Hit the like button, subscribe. thumbs up. Give us some feedback.
Do it.
You can find us on social mediums. The mediums. I sound that old, right? Social media, Marriage for Grown Folks on TikTok. Marriage for Grown Folks on Facebook. Marriage for Grown Folks on Instagram, all right? Follow us. You know what I mean? Drop us some lines, some feedback, what you want to hear about, what you hate about the show, what you like about the show. You can say what you want about me. Watch your mouth about my wife. All right? That's all I'm saying. Got anything, ma'am?
I don't.
All right.
Let's eat.
Let's eat. We are out. Thank you guys once again. We'll see you
Peace.
again. Peace.